you to Jason Gilbert here today. Jason's like a magician in the area, so he's been the talk of the town, and I think it's about time we get the word out. So Jason is a sports physician, and anyone that's been to him has had raving reviews. It's gotten around, and I feel like we need to have a chat.
Okay,
so
let's have a chat.
Jason, tell us, how did you start out doing what you're doing? Tell us your story.
It's a long story, but basically we owned a health food store when I was a kid,
Yep.
and I worked in the health food store. So I was influenced from a young age by my clients, by other professionals coming in to buy vitamins and all the rest, and learning from them, being fascinated by health.
Yeah.
So I'd say that was very influential, and also the fact that from a young age I had low back pain,
Yep.
and thought it was normal. And I love surfing, so I was surfing one day, and Tom Carroll it was years ago, in the surfs, when he heard that I had back pain, he said, look, you should go to a chiropractor. So someone around the same time the health food store came in with low back pain, saw that I was studying science.
Yeah.
I said, what are you doing? Go and study chiropractic. I just went to a chiropractor. I was carried in there, and 5 minutes later I'm walking again. So that's probably what sort of woke my enthusiasm up there.
Yep.
And just with time, I was influenced by the people I met through life.
Yeah. And where have you been working for the last 20 years?
Yeah, so back then after graduating as a chiropractor, I went to South America on a surf trip and saw that chiropractic didn't exist in a lot of these places. So in Peru, I used to go to the Andes and the Amazon, and sometimes just with a portable table and a plastic spine, local radio with my broken Spanish, and end up seeing a couple of hundred patients a day. Not because I wanted it, it was just because there was a huge demand. So that's how my experience came about. I set up clinics in Lima and in Rio, São Paulo as well. I was invited to go to São Paulo, Brazil to help start the first chiropractic course.
Wow.
And the rest is history. From there I was working with the World Surfing League, and my work, I mentioned chiropractic, my work actually involves a mix of physio, osteo, chiropractic, electroacupuncture, whatever we've got to do to return normal function to a joint. I guess.
So you've created your own philosophy around health, which I found super interesting. I came to see Jason myself actually, and so take us through what you do for someone.
Yeah, sure. So what I've recognised, and it's through obviously the experience of my own patients and my own health over the years, is that it's no point listening to someone's symptoms or their pain and just focusing on that.
Yeah.
Okay, we've always got to recognise that the body has an inherent ability to heal itself. So we have to find out the blockage, and that's the cause.
Yep.
That might be a biomechanical cause in the spine. It could be diet. I'm a health coach as well, so coaching's really important because we have habits that sort of start a vicious cycle as far as I guess sleep, as I said, things like habits with diet's concerned, or not playing sport, whatever it is. The important thing is to recognise what's influencing the person's health in a negative way and work with that.
Totally. And when I came here, you pinpricked my finger for blood and all of that, so you've got your microscope out.
So what happened there is that years ago also live blood analysis was really important in the detection of problems that I had. I had mercury toxicity, and that was because one day I had all this enthusiasm to get rid of my mercury fillings, and it wasn't done correctly. Huge toxicity after that. So that was something that put me on track. We recognised cancer in the blood, we recognised heavy metals and other things, and it's one of the tools I use to take a measure of somebody's health. Another thing I see in our society that sort of guides people the wrong way, they worry about their health when they lose it. In other words, when disease is already there. And there aren't too many ways to study health. Most of the methods we have, and when we go to the doctor and we find out how our health is, are actually studies of disease. So we leave thinking, or knowing that there's no disease, but that's not really a true measure of our health and how that's going. Unfortunately, we spend most of the money in our life on our health in the last 5% of our life. What's that mean? That means we're already sick and we're spending it for a disease on a disease or a situation that really isn't going to result in more life. Whereas I see it's much more important to invest in our health during our life, and that could be financially, it could be with time, doing exercise, or going to a certain practitioner, or doing yoga, or whatever, and also education, learning how to look after ourselves, because we're not born with a little book that tells us how to.
I think it's amazing. couple of people that I've, you know, seen and heard who have been told they might need an operation or something, and you've been able to work with them and you know, make them nearly pain-free, which I think is a bit magic. So we're excited that you're in the area now, and so where to from here? Now that you're here, how did you choose Byron area and hinterland?
Okay, so as I said, I lived in South America for 20 years.
Wow,
and it's
long
what I
time.
dreamt of, really. I dreamt of the life that Byron gives.
Yep.
I lived in dirty cities, dangerous cities, overcrowded cities, and in this area it's the polar opposite. So even though I was born in Sydney and I always thought I'd move back there, Sydney's also grown, and Byron's always had a soft spot in my heart, I guess, especially being a surfer.
Yeah.
What I love up here also is that I'm dealing with people who are on a similar plane as far as their health.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people come here for the same reasons.
Yep.
And they do value their health because they realise that their quality of life can't be maintained without it.
Yep.
So it's all of those reasons that just makes me feel really happy.
Totally. And you're looking, so where to from here in regards to creating some retreats, I've heard?
Yeah, sure. So we've started our retreats and they're called Feel Younger Longer retreats. And that basically sums up pretty well what our focus is. You know, we want people feeling younger longer, we want them aging slower.
Yep.
And we use a number of modalities to do that. So we really focus on the cause of someone's lack of health and do what we have to do, whether it be through yoga, it could be massage, it could be chiropractic or physio work, it could be dietary. We go over a lot of exercise. We've got some amazing equipment as well that's you don't find in many places in the world that really help people get the essentials to health. And there's not many essentials, okay? When you think about it, our cells need oxygen.
Yep.
We've got a way of introducing oxygen to cells. Our cells need nutrition. Diet's really important. We talk about that. We coach people about that.
Yep.
Obviously hydration. One of the most basic problems we see is that most people are dehydrated. So it's a really easy thing to work with. And cells need charge.
Yeah.
So we do have equipment and other ways of getting the charge back into somebody's body so that they're looking at the 4 elements of health and I guess investing in their longevity. Not only their longevity, but being older and more functional, you know, more functional for longer, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, I mean, I just wanted to get the word out there here with Jason. So definitely we're going to have his Instagram and Facebook, all of that available for you to get in touch. Living here full time now?
Yes.
Apart from where have you been? The Nitro Circus?
Oh, Nitro Circus.
Nitro Circus. Okay, there you go. So he does get around. Thank you. Thanks for your time today.